Today, let us take some time to study the Word of God with the sermon titled, Those Who Overcome. Isn't a winner or loser determined based on the results at the end of a game? Only after a game or a match or when any competition ends can we say, this person is the winner, or that team lost. Through the 66 books of the Bible, we can often see the expressions, those who overcome, or those who are victorious. In the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 7, it says, "To him who overcomes, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life." In Revelation 2, verse 11, it says, "He who overcomes will not be hurt at all by the second death." And in chapter 2, verse 17, "To him who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna. I will also give him a white stone with a new name written on it." In chapter 2, verse 26, it says, "To him who overcomes and does my will to the end, I will give authority over the nations and the morning star." Also in chapter 3, verse 12, it says, "Him who overcomes, I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. I will write on him the name of the New Jerusalem, and I will also write on him my new name." And in chapter 3, verse 21, it says, "To him who overcomes, I will give the right to sit with me on my throne." As you can see, throughout the Bible, there are many expressions about those who overcome. It is like a title. Additionally, it says that God will grant various rewards to those who overcome. The Bible thoroughly explains about those who overcome. Therefore, shouldn't we have the faith like those who overcome so that we can be victorious in the end? Even when we look to Revelation chapter 15, we can find further evidence about those who overcome. When you go to chapter 15, verse 2, it states, "And I saw what looked like a sea of glass mixed with fire, and standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast and his image and over the number of his name." Here, the beast mentioned represents Satan. It is also written in Revelation, those who had been victorious over the beast and his image and over the number of his name. They held harps given them by God and sang the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb. Apostle John recorded in great detail whatever it was that God showed him. Then, who are those who are victorious according to this verse? Let us now take a moment to go to chapter 14. Let's go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 11. "And the smoke of their torment rises forever and ever. There is no rest, day or night, for those who worship the beast and his image, or for anyone who receives the mark of his name." It means they will be tormented forever and ever in hell. Let's go to verse 12. This calls for patient endurance on the part of the saints who obey. What do they obey? God's commandments and remain faithful to Jesus. This scene in the Bible gives us the testimony about those who did not abandon their faith even though they were enticed by Satan through various trials and temptations. These are those who are able to overcome and will receive many blessings in the end. Let's go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 4. It says, "These are those who did not defile themselves with women, for they kept themselves pure. They, what do? Follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were purchased from among men and offered as firstfruits to God and the Lamb." Brothers and sisters, throughout the Bible, there are many verses about those who overcome. The explanation about them can be found in Revelation 2 and 3. Furthermore, in Revelation 14 and 15, it describes the people who did not receive the mark, that is to say, the name of the beast or worship his image, even though they were under all kinds of threats or temptations. As it is written, they follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were purchased from among men and offered as firstfruits to God and the Lamb. Ultimately, they are the ones that the Bible regards as those who overcome and are victorious, according to the biblical prophecies. In conclusion, what should we do in order to be those who overcome? We must focus our path of faith on the right direction. Follow the Lamb wherever he goes. How do we do that? When considering wherever, we should not put our own thought or be clouded by human perspective. We should only think, what is the will of God? Where does he want me to go? By this, we can have self-control and try to follow the will of God instead of making wrong decisions. Then, we will be able to throw off our secular bad habits and suppress our sinful nature so that we may be purified. We can achieve this only by considering, what would God decide to do in this case? What would he do? Satan continuously tries to tempt us by causing rifts in our families, making us go astray from God and corrupting the church. In every age, Satan always attacks us with so many kinds of trials and temptations in an attempt to defeat us. Throughout the ages, those who overcome and are victorious think to themselves, God is always the Lord of our souls. God is always the Lord of our family. God is always the Lord of our church. God is always the Lord of the head office. This is the manner of thinking among all who are victorious. Therefore, no matter what it is, we should make every effort to fulfill what God asks of us, and we must do it with all our heart. By this, I conclude today's sermon. Thank you very much.